Welcome back, folks. Good to see you all. Season 9, Episode 7. If you've been watching the Blackhawks, you know the title of our show. The future is almost now. We're getting there. Blackhawks are working at it. Tough start, and we're going to get into that. We're going to get into Artyom Levshunov. Fellas, what's going on? Bardo, welcome back to the show. Good to see you. How's it going?
Good to see you. What's up, boys?
Excellent. Your Chiefs won last night. Congratulations on that.
Yes,
On
they did.
primetime television. Let's hope the Bears can replicate that effort, although Jimmy's rooting against them, but that's okay. We still love you, Jimmy. Jimmy, how are you? Tell us about your new hat.
I'm doing well. My team had to buy, so I'm doing really well. I didn't have to stress about that. Found this hat over the weekend. It's a 2013 Western Conference Champions hat. I found it at a thrift store for like $9 this weekend. I was like, I got to grab that. It's a good find.
Yeah, great find. We love it too. Sean Fitzgerald, how are you? Good to see you this evening. What's up?
I'm good. Things are going well. Disappointed in baseball season being over for the Cubs, but excited about the Blackhawks and their potential for the future. And excited. I know Bard's probably excited that UMass got a commitment from Jake Prunty for 25-26. So that's a big right-handed defenseman prospect. So, yeah, excited about that.
Awesome stuff. All right, real quick before we get into it, a quick mention of our sponsor. If you post a take tonight, our new sponsor, 500level.com, post a hot take tonight for a chance to win a T-shirt, a free T-shirt from 500level.com. Also, anytime you go to 500level.com, use the code THERINK26 in all caps, and you get 30% off and any purchase, any T-shirt. Check out 500level.com. They're awesome. They got a lot of good stuff. All right, fellas. Onward we go here. 3 games in, 0-1-2, I guess you could say, or 0-2-1. With the loser point, I guess you could say, in Boston. How are we feeling about things? Does it feel different? Let's get into it. Let's start with Bard right away since he wasn't here last week.
It definitely feels different, and it's encouraging. I wasn't expecting a strong record, and I think maybe those points will come down the road, but to see sort of a consistent effort for the most part, and especially 5-on-5, is extremely encouraging. This team hasn't been good in 5-on-5 play maybe in a decade, so that to me is always a sign of a really well coached hockey club. So to me, I think that's a good thing. Special teams, I'm sure, will come around. At some point, maybe it's not this year, but I'm encouraged by the 5-on-5 play, the grittiness that this team shows, and also the speed and the skill of a lot of their young players. So, yeah, it's a very encouraging sign from what I've seen in the first 3 games.
Yeah, it's been awesome. Good call on that. I mean, Jimmy, 3 one-goal hockey games here, and you could easily argue the Hawks had a chance to win every game. Florida maybe, 3-2, maybe that made it sound close, a little bit closer than it was. Losing overtime in Boston, probably a game that people think that they should have won. Frank Nazar had an opportunity, Korpisalo with an amazing save. Connor Bedard did not score on a breakaway in overtime. Then they play the Montreal Canadiens, and they lose 3-2 with 15 seconds to go. But you feel similarly to Bard on this whole thing, and what have you liked and what don't you like so far?
What I've liked so far is that even no matter what kind of game, when they play a bad game like they did against Montreal, and it was a bad game, like that was a very
that was the worst of the 3.
Worst of the 3, or they play a really good game, they're always still in it. And that's something we haven't seen in the last couple of years. Like if you get to a game, with these Blackhawks recently, if they're not in it, they're down by 3 by the end of the first. And like you're turning off the TV, you're walking away, be like, all right, I'm not even gonna bother. But like sticking in a game where you're playing really poorly was something that really stood out to me. So that's some of the good. I really like how like the team's kind of getting this like pesty edge to them. Even Connor Bedard, like going up to who was it, Josh Anderson, like, yeah, you're tough, you're effing tough. Like saying that to Anderson, a guy's 6'4", got like 40 pounds on you, and like baiting Charlie McAvoy into a penalty. McAvoy, one of the best defensemen in the league, one of the most level-headed, and getting him riled up like that. That's something I really like to see. I like to see these kids getting guys' face. But the bad is obviously with Montreal, you can't take double-digit penalties. You got to reel it in.
let it go too far.
Yeah. You gotta be the Brad Marchand where you pick your spots, you know where to get guys on the opposing team to lose their edge, but you can't, you yourself cannot lose the edge.
Yeah.
And that's what happened in Montreal. So
yeah, I think they lost the plot a little bit with Montreal. I mean, after every whistle, the Blackhawks were initiating that, and some of the penalties. I mean, like Connor Murphy took dumb tripping penalty. Wyatt Kaiser cross-checked Demidov basically in the face in front of the net, unprovoked for no reason. But Shawnee, let's talk about the youth movement here. Does it feel like it's finally arrived? And do we finally have our number one and our number two centers of the future?
I think the youth movement is, excuse me, is finally here. You're seeing it in the play on the ice. Bedard and Nazar look like they're, like you said, the number one and number two center. They look like they're fixtures for a long time in this lineup. Nazar especially is taking a huge leap just from his time last year. I can't remember the stat, but they said that he's had like, I want to say it's like 28 points in 22 games going back to the end of last season through the World Championships. So like he is scoring any chance he gets, which is awesome. That second line playing really well. I really like the young defenseman. I even like my boy Louis Crevier, aka Creever.
He's played great.
Yeah, he's been great.
He's been great.
Great as a seventh defenseman, playing in well. This team is they're so close to taking that next step. They're just like a couple shifts away a game now. It's like, yes, we saw it in Florida. Like they got outplayed period 1 and 3, but they played really well in period 2 and stayed in that game. The Montreal game, like everyone said, it was sloppy, but the penalty killers kept them in it. They had 10 penalty kills. They only gave up 2 goals on that.
Yeah.
That's a positive.
Mm-hmm.
Like Ilya Mikheyev looks great. I think when Landon Slider comes back, that penalty kill is going to be nasty. Those guys create odd man rushes, which is shorthanded rushes, which is going to be great. So I'm very excited for you.
I mean, if so, they had 10 times when they were shorthanded.
10 times.
10 times. Or if you're shorthanded, the problem with that, if you're shorthanded for 10 times, that's 20 minutes. Connor Bedard cannot be on the ice.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's just silly. I mean, they have to stay out of the box. It was a problem against Boston. And it was clearly a problem against Montreal. They just couldn't really get anything going. I guess the good news, the best thing, or what's exciting about what you mentioned with the two centers is that, Frank Nazar and Connor Bedard combined right now have 8 points in 3 games. And so those are your 1 and 2 centers. So you build off that. You put guys on the flank. Obviously, the Nazar line looks great with, Teuvo Teravainen and Tyler Bertuzzi. Would love to see Bertuzzi finally see the net tonight. We'll see. Bedard, I don't know. We'll see if Burakovsky and Doc are the long-term solutions. But the other thing to think about, Hawks fans, if you're still bugged and you're saying, well, we keep losing, that's fine. It's going to be like that for a little bit. But if you look at the prospect pool coming up and who is coming to play with Nazar and Bedard, we're talking Roman Kantsarov. Or Kansarov, however you pronounce it. Anton Frondel. I mean, those could round out 4 of the 6 in the top 6 on the first 2 lines.
And give the Hawks hopefully something they're lacking currently, which is secondary scoring.
Right. And those guys are coming at the latest next year.
Right.
If not before. Oliver Moore, who's going to talk about in a few minutes, had a 3-point. He had 2 goals and an assist last night in his debut in Rockford, which is outstanding. He's not going to be down there much longer. Maybe he is where Colton Dock is at some point, playing on the left side of Bedard and Doc is moved to the third line. We don't know, but really good start, really exciting hockey. And Jimmy, I think you said it, or Bart, I'm not sure. Maybe Bart, you said it earlier, but you don't turn off the television. You're not saying, all right, I'll watch it. And it's also not, I just want to see Bedard maybe score tonight.
Right.
It's really competitive. They're playing with purpose. And it's awesome. I love seeing Levshunov and Nazar stand up to guys like Sean Curley and Zadorov in Boston. and taking those two guys to the box with him. And, the Boston fans are all going crazy. And I had to remind a couple of them. I was sitting around being like, your guys just got worked up over a couple teenagers. Congrats.
Can we also give a little bit of a shout out to Jeff Blashill, who actually looks like a coach that knows what the hell he's doing. So he's fiery, he's feisty, he's very direct, and he has expectations. He keeps these players accountable. So
every in zone faceoff, he has two guys on the ice, one left-handed shot, one right-handed shot that he thinks can win a draw.
Mm-hmm.
The Hawks are still getting beat in the faceoff a lot, but that's a conversation for another time.
Worst faceoff percentage in hockey.
Yeah, 40%, I think.
Getting there. I mean, I don't know. The guys taking their draws, they aren't exactly the most seasoned NHL players.
Well, and their best faceoff guy missed the last game with an upper body injury in Jason Dickinson.
Yeah. He's there. I mean, he's a 50% guy.
Yeah.
Ryan Green will be there.
Yeah.
He's not used to taking NHL draws right now. Ryan Green, who's in the lineup for the fourth game in a row. I don't think a lot of people saw that coming. Hence my BU hat. Everyone knows I'm a big Ryan Green guy. At any rate, let's talk about one of the Hawks right now that's getting a lot of attention, maybe not for the right way, and that's Artyom Levshunov. Jimmy, we're going to go to you first here because you love Artie Party. You had a lot of time to watch him in Rockford with your media credentials there, which I'm sure you enjoyed the game the other night. Healthy scratch. What sounds like he was a healthy scratch last game, which was understandable. He might be a healthy scratch again tonight. What's going on here?
Well, based on Blashill's comments or lack of comments, this seems a little bit of a disciplinary thing. We saw Levshunov's penalty against Boston late in the game where instead of continuing the play, he kind of took 3-4 seconds off of the play and complained to the refs, looked up to the Jumbotron. That was clearly unacceptable. And then the morning skate after, the morning skate before the home opener, afterwards, he had some comments to Mark Lazarus that were, I don't want to say bad, but very wishy-washy. Just kind of like he didn't take the situation seriously. And I think that led to a scratching and a back-to-back scratch. I think this is Blashill just getting into his head hey, you got to keep yourself in the play. And when you have to, be sat out, you have to take it seriously. So I think it was one game for what he did in Boston and one game for what he said afterwards in his behavior. Now, am I going to sit here and be like, oh, shit, it's over, we're done here? No. He's 19 years old. I'm not going to pretend that, 19-year-olds have everything, settled in. I think someone, probably Nick Foligno, guys like Mark Eaton, who coached him last year as assistant general manager, have to sit him down back, hey, you just got to lock in. You got to just let your emotions, take the back seat, and you got to stay focused, and you got to, take questions seriously. Now, I'm not overly worried. I think more fans are taking umbrage with this than they should, but in my opinion, there's something to take umbrage with. I don't think 2 games is necessary. I thought 1 game was fine, but I'm not the coach.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, and again, we don't know what we don't know. I mean, it was easy to why the first one.
Mm-hmm.
And folks, if you don't know out there, with 2.5 minutes to go, he took a high sticking penalty in the game against the Boston Bruins in a tie game. And it wasn't so much the penalty, it was the fact that he was upset that it was being called. And when the penalty was on delay, he stopped playing and kind of stared at the sky and pouted for a minute. And the puck went behind the net, and he could have gotten it and stopped the clock and gotten possession. And instead, the Bruins kept going and actually had a scoring chance after that, which is inexcusable. It is. You can't do those things. You just can't.
Yeah.
Bart, are you worried about this at all? I mean, is it like one of those? I mean, there's some people that are like, well, if you're going to scratch him 2 games in a row, send him to Rockford. If he gets scratched in the next game, then it's, what are we doing?
Look, I think the 1 game was fine to scratch him. The second game, I'm confused as to why that's happening. And like you said, we only know what we know. Bottom line is he's clearly an immature kid right now. And he's a kid. He's 19. And, we all hear this phrase in sports. At some point, the light's going to go on because this kid's got ridiculous talent. He wasn't the second pick in the draft for nothing. He's, in a good system and with structure. So, and he's got some good leadership around him, Foligno among other guys. But I mean, I think it's just at a certain point, these are just these teachable moments, and you chalk it up to immaturity, and he'll learn from it. He'll grow from it. So it just takes time.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with all that. And hopefully, I don't know, hopefully this will be it. And then he's back out on the ice. Sean, how have you felt about his play in general before this little incident? I mean, his first 2 games?
He was fine. I mean, he freewheeled a little too much for my liking. And I think he's creating offensive scoring chances, but he's got to be more solid in his own end.
Yeah.
I think that's something he's still got to work on.
Yeah.
And I know they've had him captain the second power play the last couple of days of practice. So hopefully he'll get to see some time when he comes back with that. As far as the whole thing, it's short term. Like, this is a short term story. It'll help him in the long term. We'll be past this in like a week or two. And in response to everybody saying sending him to Rockford, no, the point is not he's not going to play because he's not playing the right way. You send him to Rockford, he still gets to play. Anyone who's an athlete knows when you're sat down and you can't play, it sucks. Yeah. So that's what I think the message is. They don't have
the defensive depth to send him to Rockford right now, to be honest.
No.
You also don't want to send the message that being sent down to Rockford is a punishment.
Right.
Yeah. Right. Really good point.
Yeah. The Blackhawks really value Rockford. Like, they sent EDM down right before, Saturday's game, and EDM immediately stepped in and played really well in Rockford.
Yeah, that's a good point. What else? Tell me, who else? Sean, I'm going to go back to you real quick and put you on the spot a little bit. But Who else have you been impressed with, and maybe someone who you didn't think would be impactful, whether that's a young kid or a vet? And who are you looking to step up? And we're going to go around and everyone contribute.
So the guy that has actually been impactful, and I know is probably going to aggravate a bunch of people, but analytically and a little bit on the eye test, Wyatt Kaiser's been solid.
I know.
Yeah, Wyatt Kaiser's been so. I'm pleasantly surprised by Wyatt Kaiser. So that's been a real big positive.
He's played really well.
Yes, and the Hawks like that. He's analytically, like I said, the best defenseman in the last 2 or 3 games. So I'm really excited about
great, solid bottom 6 defenseman. Sorry,
and that's fine. And that's what you're going to need eventually. So I really like that. A guy I think that needs to step up. I think Tyler Bertuzzi needs to score, like you said earlier. And Bertuzzi played his best hockey in Detroit under Blashill, so I think it will come.
Okay.
I just think I want it now. I'm being greedy and I want it now because they need secondary scoring. Like, yes, Nazar and Bedard are going to score, but I need Bertuzzi and Tavo and those guys to pump in goals too.
Yeah.
And then, so those are my 2 guys.
Your 2 guys. Bardo, what about you? Who have you been impressed with, and who would you like to see a little bit more out of?
So I've been actually impressed with, I'm going to talk about 2 guys that literally switched spots, and that's Colton Dach. Colton Dach has been good. He was good in the bottom 6 in that role, and I thought even playing in in a first line role, he's been good. I mean, I think he provides that physical element, but I think his skill set, his skills, his hands are very underrated. So I'd like to see him maybe contribute a couple more goals and be a little bit around the net. But from what I've seen so far, I like it. I mean, it's early in his career. As far as somebody who needs to step up, to me, it's Ryan Donato. I think, I'll give him a little bit of a pass because he's so used to playing next to Bedard, and that was probably a big reason why he had 31 goals last year. So now let's see him, take what he's learned and maybe, provide some of that, what we talked about earlier, secondary scoring on that third line. He's playing with, I think it's Dickinson and Mikheyev. So these are decent hockey players. So let's see if he can, generate some offense. Maybe it's not a 31 goal season, but maybe it's a 15 or so season or 20.
Yeah, I like it. Yeah. And I mean, people knew he wasn't probably not going to get 30 goals again. But I hopeful that maybe he'll have a night tonight where he can produce a little bit more. It'd be great to see him get on the score sheet sooner rather than later.
Look, on a team with a lot of skill, you probably want him on your third line.
Yeah.
So, or as they say, on a cup contending team, which the Hawks are not, he should probably be on the third line. But,
Yeah.
Hopefully he does that. So,
yeah, I like it. What about you, Jimmy?
I'm going to start with a guy I'm really impressed with. The guy in front of the net, Spencer Knight.
He's been awesome. Yeah,
he's been an absolute rock.
Great.
908 save percentage. Both of his starts have been quality starts. He's already almost 1 goal saved above expected in 2 games. That just shows how much work he's putting in. I mean, this game, especially against Montreal, it could have really got ugly if he didn't stand on his head during penalty kills, and he really kept us in the game. And losing to Florida by 1, back-to-back Stanley Cup champions by 1, kept us in the game.
Yeah, it was the reason it was a 1-goal game.
He was the reason both games he started were 1-goal games. A guy I really need to see more of. Maybe this is going to surprise you because you probably forgot he was even playing. Where's Mikheyev? Where's Ilya Mikheyev?
Yeah.
17 minutes a night. He's averaging. He's got 3 shots on goal all season.
Yeah.
I half the time I'm forgetting he's out there.
Yeah.
I just need more.
He's been great on the PK. I'll give him that.
He's been great. He's been fast. I've seen him do really good transition work, getting it from the defensive zone to the offensive zone. But I need to see more. I need to see you use that speed in the offensive zone when you're not on the PK. I need a little bit more out of you. But those are my 2.
I like it. Good. I am going to go with, I guess one guy that I've been pretty impressed with, and I didn't think I would be, is Andrei Burakovsky. I think he's been pretty good. That Boston game, that pass to Bedard for the 1T, the first goal of the game, and then he tied the game late. I think he's played a really critical role with Bedard. He's great at protecting the puck. He's got a nose for the net. And I mean, if you think back, to the summer when that trade was made, boy, he's a much better fit than Joel Veleno. I mean, I don't think that it's really even close. And I think he's had a pretty solid 3 games, and a lot of people were pretty down on him in the preseason. Saying,
a lot of people, almost everybody.
Yeah. We got another old guy and he's taking up spots from younger guys. And, I think he's been pretty good. He's been pretty solid. Someone who I have been disappointed by, who I want to see more from, but I actually don't know if there is anything left to give, is Connor Murphy. I think Connor Murphy's at the end of the line. I think the Hawks are going to have a really hard time trading him if they're going to try to move him at the deadline. He very undisciplined with his penalties against Montreal. He, he hit someone from behind in the middle of the ice, which was just stupid in the first period, and then just took a lazy tripping penalty. I don't know. I mean, he is one of the leaders. He'll be out at some point injured, but he's been in Blackhawk uniform for a long, long time. And I think it's run its course, I guess you can say, in a sense. So real quick here, we're going to change gears. We're going to talk a little bit about Rockford here in a few minutes and their big night last night. Jimmy's going to fill us in. We're going to talk about Ben Pope's article where owner Danny Wirtz made some very favorable comments about Kyle Davidson, also comment on the TV contract. Sean, we're going to defer to you on that. But first, we're going to have a word from our sponsor, and then we're going to open this up for any hot takes, any posts that you might have on tonight's game. And Rink members, meaning the 3 of you, you're all eligible this time for a hot take if you got one, and if it sticks, free t-shirt from 500level.com. Any of you listeners out there, if you want to make a comment and a hot take on tonight, Skokes, we're looking at you. We'll be back in 30 seconds after a quick word.
500level.com. 500 Levels one-of-a-kind graphic t-shirts immortalize the legends of the game. Our officially licensed designs invoke memories of the most iconic athletes. MLB, NBA, NHL, and NFL players, WNBA, and NWSL, plus WWE and UFC. Sign up today and get 10% off your first purchase. Plus, free shipping on orders over $100. 500 Level. Live like a legend.
We're back. I'm sure you missed us. Awesome. 500level.com. Hey, use code THERINK in all caps, THERINK26 for 30% off of 500level.com. Let's do some hot takes on tonight's game, and then we're going to go and talk about Rockford, and we're going to go and talk about the Ben Pope article. Skokes, feel free to write in your hot take for tonight. Anyone else out there, feel free to comment on a hot take on tonight's game. Be specific. Any of you 3 have a take on tonight that you want on the record?
Oh,
Sean
left.
he left.
It's too
Sean will
hot.
disappear. Yeah,
It's too hot. The broadcast can't contain it. I can start
All
because
right.
I'm really feeling. I'm going to give you a hot take parlay. I'm going Matt Grzelcyk multi-point game.
Whoa.
Yeah, that's right. Spencer Knight shutout. Win by 3 goals. That's right.
Okay, so you're saying all 3 of these need to hit?
I'm going all 3. I need all these to hit.
Okay.
I'm going. You said you want boldness. You said you want hot takes. I'm going out strong. I'm giving you a hot take parlay. I need all 3 of them to go through if I want this T-shirt.
So Knight with a clean sheet. So here's Jimmy's take, folks. We got Matt Grzelcyk with a multi-point night. 3 goals for the Hawks. 3 goals or less for Knight. What was it? 3 goals?
3-goal victory. So win by
3-goal
so
victory.
At least 3-0.
At least 3-0 and Knight with a clean sheet. Jimmy, I think I'll buy you a rack of lamb if this hits.
I'm hoping, man. I'm feeling good. Sean Dursey's out, so I think that
Pretty
defense
good.
in Utah is a
that's
little bit
damn
weaker. Grizz
Love
is
it.
going to do something, man.
Love it. Well, that's great stuff. All right. Bardo, what do you got for us?
I mean, I was always taught to keep it simple, so I'm going to say the Hawks power play finally breaks through and gets a goal.
Okay. All right. Who's the goal scorer?
I am going to say it will be. I'll say it will be Bertuzzi.
Bertuzzi on the power play. I like it. That's a parlay. Sean, what say you?
I'm going to go with Sam Renzel gets his 2nd NHL point tonight.
Ooh.
Andy likes that one.
I always like anything to do with Sam Renzel.
Yeah.
He's my favorite. All right. So Renzel point tonight. And I am going to go with Ryan Green, first NHL goal. Anything Renzel or Green, I'm usually in. So Ryan Green with his first NHL goal is my hot take tonight. And we have a hot take from listener, I am Skokes. Here we go. Donato, 3-point game, 2 goals and an apple.
Woo!
Wow. Skokes, I'm with you, man. If that happens, that is awesome. So
I'm also going to say they're going to show Levshunov more on TV than they did Taylor Swift last night in the Chiefs line.
quite possible.
They only showed her twice. So therefore, I think he's going to get 3 times.
All right. And if any Rink member wins this and the shirt is delivered before next week, which it probably will be, your responsibility is to don the shirt on the next show, which will be excellent. A shirt of your choice.
Guys, breaking. This is Mario Tiabasi. Jason Dixon is on the ice for Blackhawks warmups, as is Artyom Levshunov.
Okay.
Ooh.
So are all the D warming up though? Are all 7 warming up?
I have no idea.
Okay.
I just saw it from Mario Tirabassi, but did he just delete the tweet? He's there. Sam Lafferty and Lucas Reichel are not out for warmups.
Okay.
This is 5 seconds ago.
5 seconds ago. Got it.
Yes.
Okay,
I'm on it. Breaking
We're
news.
hoping Artyom Levshunov is then playing tonight. Is the hope.
Yeah.
So projected lineup doesn't have him in, but that was 46 minutes ago, and it sounds like he's out there for warmups. But we don't know if Crevier's out there.
Yeah.
Oh, so they're dressing 7D tonight?
Yeah, because Lafferty's not out there.
Oh,
Yeah.
right. All right.
But
7D.
Michael's not out there either. So, yeah.
Okay,
No,
so
that's
7D
easy.
tonight. Great. Okay. I like it. That's great.
Louis Crevier, the new Sheldon Brookbank.
Even more than that's pretty good. I don't know.
That's a deep cut for you real fans out
he's
there.
had I don't know. He had a goal in Boston, and then that guy hit Nazar. Gooley hit Nazar, and he went right after him.
And he was in the penalty box for an eternity. It was roughing, fighting, and instigating or something. He was in there for like 6 minutes.
Yeah, that's awesome. So Jimmy, big night in Rockford last night, and it doesn't look like now that Levshunov's playing, he's not going to the AHL, folks. He sat out. He got reprimanded. He sat out a game. Rockford had a big night last night. Talk to us.
Well, they had a big weekend because they won back-to-back games. Saturday, they had their home opener against the team that eliminated them in the playoffs last year, the Milwaukee Admirals. And they stormed back. They were down by 1 with about 2 minutes left. They pulled Comesso, and then big goal tied the game, took it in overtime, and Sammy Savoie takes the game in overtime, win 3-2. Next day, they get right on the buses, head to Des Moines, take on Iowa Wild and just stomp them. I watched the whole game.
Like 6-1 or something?
6-2. It was a drubbing. In my article, I called it a rout. I mean, and it really was. Oliver Moore, 3-point game, 2 goals. In my article, I linked the Rockford Ice Hogs tweets of the videos of the goal. And my goodness, the kid skates around everyone. He's faster than everyone out there. Yeah. And he's on a line with Brett Cini and Nick Lardis on that second line. Yeah. The captain's got the kids. And
I mean, how long is Oliver Moore going to be down there? He's not going to be there very long.
I have a sneaky suspicion that they sent them down there to do exactly what they did in Nazar. It's like, hey, we think of you as a top 6 winger. We're putting you in Rockford to spend a couple weeks, at most a couple months.
Seasoning, little marinating.
Yeah, because he's on the penalty kill. He's on the power play. He's fast. He's got a wicked shot. I mean,
and they wanted to see his scoring touch because remember the big knock on him coming out of Minnesota was he didn't score enough goals.
Yeah.
Well, obviously he's debunked that myth right now with 2 goals in 3 games or whatever.
Yeah,
he worked on
2 goals in 2 games.
Yeah.
I mean, he's going to get. I don't know. I mean, how many games was Nazar down there for last year?
I will double check, but he came up.
He played 54 NHL games.
Yeah.
Oh,
no, Roy's just rage. Yeah. Looks like Levshunov is on the ice for warm up. You got a hot take for us? No Roy's just rage. Hot take for a free T-shirt. Throw another comment out there, buddy. It's got to be specific. But yeah, Oliver Moore was it smoking hot? Nazar was what? He was 20 games last year in Rockford. Was it even that many?
It was 21 games. He scored 21 points.
Wow. Wow. I don't know. I could see Oliver Moore up by the holidays.
I mean, that's
not
how it worked with Nazar. And then they're doing I'm watching. They're doing exactly what they did with Nazar with Moore, except he's just on the wing. They're putting him on the PK. They're putting him on the power play. They're putting him in the top 6. They're getting him top 6 minutes. They're getting him used to being a top 6 guy because I truly believe when the Blackhawks drafted him and when they brought him up last year and they're starting him in the AHL this year, the mentality has always been the same. This is a top 6 winger. This is a top 6 speedy guy, and he can be a 2-way guy on the penalty kill power play. We can trust him anywhere, but it starts by getting that professional game to start the season this year in the AHL. And if our returns are an indication of anything, he could be up by the new year.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Now, my assumption would be that they probably put him on the first line alongside Bedard. Question is who goes down to the lower lines? Because if you put Bedard, Burkowski, okay, that's the softest first line I've ever seen. Then
that's the softest for. Well, we'll see. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, you could leave him. I don't know what you do there. It also depends if that second line keeps clicking. I mean, they might not. Yeah.
It's a good problem to have.
It is.
Yeah. And Burkowski is no wimp either. I think he could be that veteran. Like, hey, I'm going to make sure you guys aren't screwed up here.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
I don't think of him that way, but yeah, that's fair.
No roids, just rage. Hot take: Bedard hat trick. Bold, love it. First AHL hat trick. Love it. Throw the hats. So no roids, just rage. We'll remember that. Berkey, good to see you, buddy. Got the Bears on the TV and the Hawks on the computer. Hot take is that Colton Dock gets a goal tonight. We're just talking about it. That would be awesome. We'd like to see.
Why did the Blackhawks get demoted?
Yeah, put us on the TV, Burke.
Put the Bears on.
Prioritize.
Come on.
Prioritize Berkey.
Come on, they stink.
Yeah, no roids, just rage. And Berkey, if you guys win, make sure you DM me via Twitter. To collect. Cool. All right. Let's talk about that article quickly. Shawnee.
Yep.
Ben Pope had an article. Danny Wirtz was interviewed. And it was a really well-written article. It was nice. And Danny said some favorable things, and he commented on the TV contract. What do you got for us, Sean?
So he commented on the TV contract. So in case you missed it, originally CHSN was not on Comcast Xfinity locally in Chicago when it launched in 2024. It was a huge controversy. They were on other platforms, but not on the largest cable provider in the Chicagoland area. After missing and losing 78% of their viewership in their first year, they finally got a deal done with Comcast. Now, Comcast offers CHSN as part of the ultimate tier. So you have to go to the third tier of channels, which means you subscribe to the entertainment package and the sports package as well. It's the most channels you can get without buying a premium channel. The Hawks really missed the boat when they launched CHSN because, as you said, the majority of, or as I've said, the majority of Hawks fans were not able to watch the Hawks. They did launch the app before they got on CHSN, which people were a little upset about that too, because the pricing was $20 per team or $30 for all three teams, which in my opinion was a mistake. It cost Jason Coyle, the president of CHSN, his job. He resigned in February of this year, and the former general manager of Marquee, whose name is escaping me, is now running CHSN. So for those, my wife and I bought the Bullet, and we subscribed to the Ultimate tier. So now I have CHSN on my television set every night. So it is a good deal, but the Hawks botched it out of the gate, and now hopefully a lot of their viewership will come back, because yes, you have to pay the $30, but included in the Ultimate tier, you get more things besides just CHSN and 3 really bad sports teams.
Yeah.
Oh,
No Hawks in Saskatchewan.
well, CHSN is only local. It's only allowed through the local market. So for those outside the Chicagoland area, like Andy and Bardo,
ESPN Plus,
ESPN Plus, which is
I love ESPN Plus,
or the all new ESPN app, which you get everything with. So
yeah,
but yeah, that's the TV deal in a nutshell. Is they weren't on the largest cable provider in Chicagoland. They finally got a deal done.
Yeah,
RSNs really aren't that profitable anymore, just because all the money is kind of dried up because the advertising money is all being shared now in one spot.
Gotcha.
So that's why they try to get they were fighting so much with Comcast, and eventually the deal has been done. So
got it. Bardo, he had some very favorable things to say about Kyle Davidson too. Danny Wirtz did. A lot of support.
Yeah, I mean, what's not to like? I mean, the guy is just completely tore down to the studs and reloaded an entire system with a ton of prospects, made a ton of trades, made some, hard decisions, and maybe even some unfriendly decisions to the fans, but they were the right moves. And so they needed to make these moves. And so what he's put together, I mean, obviously now it's all about talent development, which, he is still, somewhat responsible for, but I mean, he put the groceries in the cupboard. Now you need the, the coaching staff to kind of cook the meal, so to speak. So, I think he's been pretty positive about it, which is a good thing to see.
Yeah, starting to happen. And speaking of which, Bardo, UMass Minutemen prospect, Vaclav Nestrasil, with a huge weekend last weekend, the UMass Minutemen. What do you have, 4 goals on the weekend and a hat trick against Stonehill?
He did. And I watched his first game. So the game where he scored his first goal. And let me tell you, he was all around the puck.
Yeah.
He's a big kid. He's got to be
a large human. What is he, 6'7" or something? Yeah.
He might be 6'7". I'm not sure.
He might be 6'7".
He might. I think he's more like 6. That was for my son, by the way. He might be like 6'4", 6'5".
Nice, Jimmy.
I hear my son laughing. So he might be like 6'4", 6'5", but he's a big kid, always around the puck. He was just all over the place, and he was setting teammates up and vice versa. Sorry, I hear my kids laughing in the background. But
I know Eric's gonna love that.
Yeah, he is actually. I was surprised. I was actually not expecting him, and I know he was a first-round pick, but wow, this kid just like sort of exploded. And so, it was a good showing for him.
Yeah, and Sasha Boisvert got his first goal for BU last weekend.
And for all our Blackhawks listeners, if you have ESPN2, you can watch Sasha Boisvert and the BU play Boston University play Michigan State on ESPN2 Friday night.
All right.
First time they've had college hockey on ESPN2 in a long time.
Didn't the Hawks have like 3 prospects score hat tricks this weekend, or is that 3 hat tricks this season?
Maybe this season. I don't know. Frondell's was last week. Was Frondell's last week or the week before? I can't remember.
It was last week.
Time is a flat circle.
And then Kansurov, how your preference on pronunciation.
Don't ask me.
Yeah, he he had a hat trick in the KHL this year. Yeah, and then Niestral. So the other thing that's cool is that Kantarov, Frondel, and possibly Sasha Boisvert could all be signed this spring.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's possible that they come over for a cup of coffee. And
Anything can happen.
Anything can happen. Anything can happen if you let it. So, but they, at the very least, they will be on the roster next year, which is really, really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Anyone have any trivia to close out the show tonight before we the puck drops and the football is snapped in the Chicagoland area? Yeah, I didn't bring anything either.
Nah, I didn't bring anything.
Cool. Next
I
time.
didn't bring anything because my trivia was not well received last time, so I refused.
It's not the multi-part trivia is tough.
No, that's true. That's true. That's true.
Yeah, I don't have anything either. We'll do trivia next week. Any final thoughts, closing arguments? Game's going to start here soon. I mean,
I want to give a shout out to my uncle Donald, who completed his 28th Chicago Marathon this past weekend.
wow. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Congrats, Donald. That's really cool.
Yeah, and he ran this year for a charity. He did. He ran for Catholic Charities, raising money for families with underprivileged families and providing diapers for them. So all the money he raised went to provide diapers for underprivileged children. So,
Uncle Donald, congratulations. That's awesome. That's really, really cool. Nice. All right, let's get our first win tonight. Yeah. Come on, Hawks.
Yeah.
Let's get our first win. We got some good hot
do it.
takes. We got a hot take for a dot goal, for a Bedard hat trick, for a night shutout, all sorts of fun stuff. Another point for Semiar.
And I do have to say a shout out to my daughter for kicking ass in school this year. So
All
far,
right.
so keep it up.
School is cool. Keep it going.
Can I give one last shout out?
Please.
Shout out to my in-laws, Scott and Michelle. They had their first son yesterday. Came out happy and healthy. Little Jack,
that's
he's doing well. So first-time parents are very happy, and we're all happy for them. Praying for your health. Very happy to have another member of the family.
Congratulations all around. Boy, we got marathons, babies, good grades, all sorts of good things going on in our extended Hawk family.
Now we just need a Blackhawks win. We'll be good.
Now we need to win tonight. We need to win tonight.
Blackhawks win, Bears win. Can't be a good evening.
That'd be good. Isaac Guerrero has one last thought. What do you think of Kaiser? Yeah, a few minutes ago. What can you say? Wyatt Kaiser's been great. He has played very well in the first 3 games. What can you say?
It's only 3 games. That's what you could say.
Only 3 games. Right. I'm not the biggest guy. Yeah,
You know what? Hot take. Andy's going to eat his words on Kaiser by the end of the year.
Wow.
Yeah,
In
that's
what
my hot take.
Kaiser jersey.
In what sense?
Wyatt Kaiser Centennial jersey going your way.
Hey, maybe a 500 level shirt with Wyatt Kaiser on it might be in Andy's future.
That will not get worn.
Yeah. It's just a picture of Andy that just says, "I was wrong about Wyatt Kaiser."
I was never wrong. All I've said is that everyone was so worked up about why isn't Wyatt Kaiser signed? Because he's a bottom 6D.
No, we're gonna send this video to Freezing Cold Takes on social media, so he'll get featured.
Yeah, awful
Right
announcing.
Wyatt Kaiser wins.
Yeah. Wyatt Kaiser is playing top 4 minutes, and he will be a very seasoned bottom 6 defenseman when they're competing. And that's it.
I like how you keep referring to him as bottom 6 and not bottom pairing.
Yeah, bottom pairing. That's what I mean. Whatever.
I was gonna say bottom 6. There's only 6.
He will.
There's only 6 of them. He's not.
No,
That's like
he will. Yes,
That's no difference.
He will be the 5th or 6th defenseman, if not the
6, 7.
That's where.
By the way, Samuel Savoie, who's number 67, when he came onto the ice after being announced as the star of the game, did this to the entire crowd. Brainrod has just completely taken over this entire Blackhawks.
Oh God, that's all I hear about is fucking Brainrod. Yeah. Jesus.
Yeah, folks, I am not a Wyatt Kaiser hater. I just he's just a guy. That's all. All right, go Hawks. Maybe my hot take should have been a Wyatt Kaiser. Yeah. Go Hawks. Have a good night, everybody. Thank you, listeners. Thank you for those who had hot takes. 500level.com. Great shirts. And we'll see you later.